Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So I'm here shooting a garden tour and just giving you guys a look at the garden post-winter, post-epic snowstorm, and we'll see how it evolves over the season. So I'm starting with the voiceover because it's loud out here and my mic is still in the mail. It's coming back, I'm so excited. And over here we have the buttonbush tree, which I think might actually flower this year. It's naked right now, but it's gonna come back. This is my pineapple guava, and it's so nice looking. It's so big and so healthy. It did not flinch in the snow. If you remember at my old house, I had these and it was so small, but now it's a teenager. It's growing up. And we're just gonna ignore this bed right here. Over here, more of the same. Lots of weeds, lots of naked plants, lots of dead plants. I have a lot of work to do. This bed had my brassicas in it, so you can see the cauliflower. We took the heads off. We got a really nice harvest off of these. And so I'm gonna rip all this out, all the peas. I'm kind of thinking about keeping those peas, but I'm not sure yet. This I'm leaving just for the pollinators for when they pass through. But when I reset this bed, these are gonna come out. These are collard greens in here. We have been picking on these and cooking them like we do in the South. I'm going to leave these in. I'm trying to think. I feel like I should start covering them now because I believe the last cold snap was the last one that we were probably gonna get this year. So that means the worms are going to be out, and so I think I might start covering these just to keep them in pristine condition. These peas back here got a little hit by the frost, but for the most part they're okay. I think if I trim them back, they'll be fine. This is probably like my last eating peas, so I'm going to try to save them if I can. Moving over to this bed, same thing. Brassicas in here. We got some broccoli harvests. You can see this one is starting to produce some side shoots. So we've been picking those. This one I let go to seed. Just honestly, it's like they were just trying to bolt because I was harvesting the heads, and even the heads were about to bolt when I picked them, and then I just couldn't keep up with the side shoot production. This is the this is the Lieutenant broccoli. I bought these as starters. I feel like it's a hybrid maybe. I don't know, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it. This one over here I think was like green. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Let me see if I can find them. Well, I'll find it when we clean out this bed. Let me see, because I can't find it in there. So broccolis, had some cauliflowers in here. By the time I got ready to pick these, they were about to bolt, so I just let them roam free. And I'm actually really curious to see how a cauliflower looks when it flowers. I'm assuming it looks similar to a broccoli, but I'm gonna let this go as kind of like an experiment. That one I'm gonna take out. We have this little cabbage back here that is just, I don't know. I'm probably just gonna pick it when I take out the bed. It's really small, but it's trying. And then here I just have some, I think this is dill. Might be fennel. I can't tell. I think it's fennel actually. Let me it should be really obvious. Okay, no, that's dill. Thanks. Nose. Over here I have an artichoke. This whole thing just needs to be reset. There's a little fig tree right there. I think that's a Cadota fig that I got from Lowe's last year. And basically it just needs to be weeded and taken care of. That is a Coco Loco rose, which is actually growing back really beautifully. No black spot, even with all the rain that we've been getting. This is a grafted rose, so that may be why it's not getting any black spot. I don't know the rootstock that it's on, but I got it from what's the name of it? I'll put it on the screen. I can't think of it right now. Menagerie. I think they're located in California. So you can probably look on their website if you're interested in knowing what the rootstock is. But yeah, she's grafted and she's doing really well. And on that, I just want to make a little note about grafted versus own root roses, from what I've seen so far in my garden, the grafted roses appear to be doing a lot better. And so maybe if you live in, maybe, I think it's one of those things, you know how we talk about like hybrids versus heirlooms, and I think in that discussion there's one that is considered a lot better, but I do see more people coming around to hybrids, and that makes me think of this kind of discussion with the own root roses versus the grafted roses. It's like sometimes like it might be better, and I think this has a lot to do with like purity culture as well, but that's a whole nother discussion. So I think that sometimes grafted roses are just better for your climate. They may not last as long. You may have to like be vigilant to make sure the graft isn't growing out, but at the end of the day, my grafted roses look a lot better than my own root roses right now. And it is the first year for them, my own root roses, so take that with a grain of salt. They also have to mature, of course, because, so that could also be another reason why the grafted roses are doing better, because they have that hardier rootstock, so they have a little more oomph, versus maybe in a few years the own root roses will look a lot better too. All right, and here we have this fig tree, which is an improved Celeste tree, and I think this is going to be the year for this fig. We got a few figs off of it last year, but I mostly just picked them off because I wanted to focus on getting some height, because it was literally this big last year. Like, it looked like that one last year, so I was not going to let it be out here producing fruit. But now that it has some length on it, has some height on it, I'm curious to see how it's going to be. I want to keep it around this height and like kind of make it like a bush versus like letting it be a tree, obviously, because I have these beds over here and I don't want it to get shaded out. So that is my plan for this. I'm curious to see how it evolves. I did prune it a little bit and just kind of took off some rogue branches, but I think we're gonna get some good growth. I'm excited about that one. Over here I have another rose. So this is an own root rose, and it has black spot. Not as bad as some of my other ones, but it has a little black spot on it. This is its first year. I planted it maybe in the fall, late summer, fall-ish time. And I mean, it looks good. It does look really good to say that it is a new rose. It's branching out nicely. I think it's going to produce flowers. I'm curious to see how this evolves in year 3. I don't remember what kind of rose. I don't remember what this rose is. I know it's one of 2 roses, but I can't remember the name. Doesn't look bad. This part looks bad, but that's life. These fava beans, I think I'm gonna take them out. These are the, oh look, I have a tag. Look at me. These are the Parmesan fava bean. I'm pretty sure I ordered these from like Uprising Organics or Siskiyou Seeds. And I just don't know how to grow fava beans. I haven't educated myself on it, but they don't look terrible. They don't look great either. Something's eating them, I'm pretty sure. Last year with my fava beans, I noted like I missed a huge caterpillar infestation and they kind of got devoured. This one looks like you can see some little snails on here. But that's what's happening here. I think I'm gonna take them all out. I was gonna wait until they flowered and maybe like set a bean so I could save seed, but I don't really care that much. So I'm gonna take it out, try again next year, and see what happens. These cabbages were put in late, but they are doing really well. There's like a little head in there, if you can see. It's starting to grow. We have been loving roasted cabbage. We've been eating more vegetables, and this food blogger, I think her name is like plant-based RD, she makes some really good recipes that include like roasted cabbage, and we love them. So I highly recommend checking her out. I'll link her blog below. We have some old broccoli stalks that we harvested off of another cabbage, which I'm probably gonna take out because it's about to get too hot. Some curly kale. I don't know if we talked about this, but I actually like kale now. And another broccoli that needs to be picked because it's about to flower, but I might just let it go and whatever, since I'm gonna clean out this bed. And here's a pineapple sage that lost a lot of growth in the snow that we had, but it's coming back. Coming back over here, I should just continued along here, but that's okay. I'm gonna cross over here. Okay, so this is a grafted rose. This is Love Song. Beautiful, no black spot, pretty astounding, and I'm in love with it. A little rosemary here that it was struggling for a little bit. A lot of my rosemary plants are getting like spider mites really bad, but I'm gonna be watching this one like a hawk because I want a big full rosemary bush. I'm very like interested in that for like people who are walking by. They can just like grab some and like have that sensory stimulation while they're on their walk. These are some tulips that I planted. I don't know if I planted them late, but they're just not doing really good. I put bone meal in here when I did it, blood meal and bone meal, and they are okay. I will include a picture of what they look like because we harvested a couple for the table, but you know, that's okay. Tulips aren't our best crop, and I'm not the best tulip grower, so you know. This is, let me see what this rose is. This is, I think it's Caroline, yeah, Nicole Carol Miller, also from Menagerie. They had a sale last year, so obviously I went a little ham. This rose is one of the first roses I bought for this garden. It is the Queen Elizabeth rose. It smells so good. I read somewhere that it was like a moderate scent, but to me it's really super fragrant. Grafted rose, also I got it from Lowe's. Beautiful pink flowers, as you can see there. Gorgeous, doing really well. This is her second year in this garden, or third year maybe. She's old. She's the oldest, and she looks really great, and I'm excited for some roses very soon. Over here, this is another rose, another en route rose. The chickens came over and kind of messed with her a little bit, and then she had to go through a snowstorm. She's been through a lot, but she is sticking through. She's doing well. I think this is in, what is it, tangerine something. I'll put that on the screen when I find out. This is from Heirloom Roses. And you know, I really think what I said earlier about the en route versus grafted is it's just a matter of like growth. So I think, like I said, I'm curious to see what it'll look like in a few years and what the difference will be, because like I wonder if they will have more vigor. They just take a little bit longer to get started. Over here I have two hollyhocks. I'm hoping and praying that we get flowers this year. These hollyhocks are 2 years old. This is its second year, so I'm hoping that we get some hollyhocks. Have some Shasta daisies, which I'm curious how these are gonna be. I bought a plant that looked like this in the pot. I divided it up throughout my garden, and now every little, it was like just like little clumps like this. They all look like this, so they spread a lot. But I think they'll probably be easy to maintain, so I'm curious to see what they'll be like. I was watching Jacques in the Gardens channel, and his looked to get really, really big, so I'm curious how that's gonna go. And I think I have one here as well that I thought that died, but it's still alive, so they're very hardy. And I'm curious to see how they're gonna look. Over here I have my garlic that I put in way too late. I didn't put this in until January, but it does look pretty good. I think it's definitely too wet for them right now, and I'm just letting them go. I put blood and bone in this bed and maybe some kelp meal, I'm not sure, and I'm just letting them do their thing. These artichokes I know are gonna get huge. I'm probably I want to say I want to move them, but I kind of don't want to move them. I don't know, we'll see. I feel like I still have time to figure it out. A little lettuce action in there. That's all for that bed. Over here, this bed can actually really be done. Like, Okay, so the Brussels sprouts actually did well. They did get aphids and I did not spray them off in time, but otherwise they look really freaking good. And I think I'm gonna like just take off this top part and see what we can salvage. But those, I mean, this is a pretty good looking, I mean, not good looking for eating, but good looking as far as like a growing perspective. These are the best Brussels sprouts I've grown in a while. And I think if I had kept on with the aphids, they would have gotten really, it would have been actually edible. And let's take a look at this one. This one was a little bit slower to grow, but still, yeah, look at that. They look really good. And I think I'm gonna just chop the tops off of both of these. Still had the same problem down here with the splitting, but yeah, I think I'm gonna take these off today and cook them or something. I don't know, but like, these are the best Brussels sprouts I've ever grown in my life. That one back there didn't do too well because it was shaded out by this trellis. There was passion fruit all over here, and it really blocked out this bed. So I'll be mindful of that next year, because I do have a rose. This is a Darlow's Enigma rose that I'm gonna have. This is a Darlow's Enigma rose that I'm gonna have trellis this whole thing over here, and then I'm gonna get another trellis for the passion fruit. This looks dead, but I would bet that it's alive, and I would bet that it's grown through this grow bag and is actually in the ground. So I'm curious what that's going to be like. If it is dead fully, I do have one that I brought inside because there was one on each side. The other one hadn't started really growing yet. So yeah, it's just gonna, we'll see what happens. But either way, the Darlow's Enigma is the rose that I'm gonna have trellis this arch here. And it's a beautiful white rose, supposed to be really fragrant, and I'm really excited about it. This is an Albertina olive. I had no idea their growth rate was so like fast. I don't know if you can see it in older videos. You probably can, but when I bought this, it was like maybe this size. Like, that even feels too big, like maybe this height, and that was last summer. So it has gotten huge in this container. Over here we have our bananas that we lost in the snow, but they're coming back. You can see that's new growth there. Here we have some beets that look really freaking good. I started these in trays and then I planted them out, and they look awesome. I hope they keep looking awesome and don't get any bugs on them. But yeah, they look really good. I had some potatoes growing in this bed, but it didn't work out, so there's that. These fava beans look really good. These are the Broad Windsor fava beans, so just my basic fava beans. I am watching them for caterpillars because I don't want any problems. I do actually want to I just want to get a few freaking fava beans on these. Like, is that too much to ask? But I think they're gonna do well. Over here we have some spinach. I have not had good luck growing spinach. This is the best crop I've ever had, and even it's a little holy, but that's okay. It's getting bigger, it's doing its thing. I started these in trays inside and transplanted them out a few weeks ago, and they look great. Here we have some cilantro, also started inside, and I have no idea what this is. I cannot remember what it is. Obviously it's some kind of like Asian green, but I don't know what it is. Over here I have a bunch of things. So I originally cover cropped this bed with crimson clover last fall, and that was kind of like my plan. I'm just gonna cover crop it and then leave it be. In the midst of that, this was really slow growing. The soil in these beds, I guess it just isn't the best. But in the midst of that, I planted some calendula plants. You can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have a few in here. And I have some chamomile in the back. And then I have this beautiful Carolina jessamine, which is a native plant here going up the fence, and some lacy phacelia in here, and also some leeks if you can see those, but they are kind of crowded out by things, but there are some leeks in here. Phacelia, it's kind of a mess, and what I'm going to end up doing, you already know what I'm going to say. I'm going to tear it all out. I'm going to tear all this out, with the exception of, I'm going to try to keep the Phacelia. So I don't have my garden plan this year, so I don't know what I'm going to plant where. I have the starts, I just don't know where I'm going to put everything. So it's really hard for me to even like postulate on what I'm going to plant where. But the good news is I have the plants, I have the space, so I'm going to plant. And this is not even including the farm, which I have to show you guys as well. Okay, the rest of this garden is kind of just a bit of a mess. So we have our key lime tree here, which is coming back after the snow, which is amazing. Even survived the last cold snap. She's a soldier. I'm gonna probably top this off. Like, I'm just probably actually gonna just like cut it right here, because I also want this to be smaller, because what I don't want is a tall tree blocking out the rest of the garden, and then I'd rather them be like nice shrubs. But as you can see, the neighborhood chickens have been over here digging. Gotta love it. This is a honey Dijon rose. A little bit of black spot. It is grafted, so you know, take our conversation with a grain of salt. But otherwise, she looks beautiful, fully leafing in. Gorgeous rose, gorgeous flowers. Very excited about that. This is a Twilight Zone rose. This was the second rose I think I bought for this garden. And I wasn't sure if I was going to keep her, but I think I am, because I actually do like the purple roses. You have a snapdragon here. Basically, this whole thing is a mess that I have to weed, and it's going to be really satisfying. We have a Turk's cap here that needs to maybe be cut back. It's growing back from the roots, so that's nice. We have a Gara in here. Maybe, I think that might be some Scabiosa, or either a Lacey Phacelia over there. This Buddleia died in the freeze, of course, but it's growing back from the roots, you can see there. I have an elderberry planted over here. I'm showing you guys this so we can see the before and after. I have a trip planned this weekend, but after that we're gonna come in and take care of this. But an elderberry here. This Buddleia died, and then that is an agave that I got from someone. And that is the outdoor garden. Let's go take a peek in back. It's kind of chaotic. I did not clean up for you guys, but okay, so these are my green stalks, and they've been doing really well. Like, they've been doing very well. We had a rain, and the rain just kind of rains down because we don't have gutters, so it just kind of crashes into this when it rains. But otherwise, it's doing well. I have some sage, some calendula. These flowers are beautiful. And just some lettuce. That looks really good. It needs to be harvested. Curly kale. It did have mustard in there, so ignore that. Curly kale. More curly kale. A little broccoli. Some more dill. Some sweet alyssum, which smells really good. I'm just like shaking out all the old flowers, but it smells really good. Love this plant. And this is the other green stalk. I just bought some strawberries to put in here because I'm gonna try that again. But in the meantime, some lacinato kale that looks really freaking good. More strawberries, some calendula that doesn't look great. We had some bok choy in here. It's going to flower. I've heard that these can taste kind of good. I'm gonna do this one. Okay, so yeah, strawberries, chives, bok choy. I think this is another broccoli in here. And yeah, so my green stalks did really well over the winter. It was a little bit of a learning curve, but they figured it out, and it's doing great, especially this kale. Very excited. I know some of y'all, if y'all have been watching me for a while, y'all are laughing at me talking about this kale because I talked about how much I hated it previously. In here, this is a whole tray of echinacea, and these trays are from, where are they from? I can't remember. One little seedling, and then we have one coming up here. It's been really cold, so I'm hoping that they'll explode over time. So I'm just gonna take off this cover and like let them get some fresh air and sun and all that good stuff. Over here, this is my variegated citrus. Of course, lost all its leaves in the snow, but it's coming back. I'm considering if I want to plant this at the farm or if I want to leave it here. I may just leave it here because I don't know, we'll see how it goes, and then I'll decide this year. I have these are like my only 2 surviving strawberry plants. And they have some little flowers on them. I did order some more from Isons. Those should be coming in soon, and then I'll have to figure out where to put them. This is another own root rose. You can see tons of black spot. It's also just really wet, so that is a consideration as well. This is Sunbelt, South Africa. This rose makes the most beautiful yellow flowers, like amazing. I wish I had a picture. If I have one, I'll put it on here, but it only produced like 2 last year, but this year I expect a lot more, and gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Like, I still have to clean up, so don't judge me, but this is the pink lemonade blueberry. It looks like we might get a few of them. This right here though is the piece de la resistance. This is the most flowering blueberry that I have, and this is growing in a grow bag. You can see this is the emerald blueberry. It's a southern high bush, I think, or is it a rabbit eye? Yeah, this is a southern high bush variety. I got it from One Green World, and like, look at all these flowers. I'm gonna have to cover this up some kind of way because I have to get these fruits, but like, look at that. Oh, I just lost one. Oh, there's a grasshopper on here. Get out of here. But like, look at this. Look at all those flowers. That's an insane amount of blueberries if we get them. Like, look at that, all back here. Blueberries. And I just planted these in regular potting soil, and I put in some soil acidifier. And I really hope we get a bunch of blueberries because that is bananas. This is another fig tree. I don't know the name of it, and I can't find, oh, here it is. This is the Scots black fig. Leafing out after the frost, growing in this really large pot. Back there we have a kaffir lime. This is a curry tree that looks like it's not going to come back, but it will. We've been through this before. She's still alive. A huge rosemary, and this is what I mean by the spider mites. Like, you see this like on here. It's so frustrating, but it still smells really nice, and I just spray it with neem. I'm gonna be more aggressive with that this year. Here we have some more tulips. These haven't flowered yet, but they're starting to, and I got these bulbs from like Whole Foods, so I'm not too worried about them. Here, some more sweet alyssum. Highly recommend sweet alyssum. There's some weeds in here as well that I will take out on my own time. This is a hot cocoa rose, also an own root rose. Looks really good. I do have some black spot, but that's okay. I just sprayed it down for aphids. It was covered in aphids, so I sprayed it down to clean it off, and she looks good as new. Over here we have our peaches. I have 2 peach plants, 2 peach trees, one on either side growing in pots, and I think we might actually get peaches this year because I see a little peach. Look how cute, little peach booty. And then we have all of these flowers, so hopefully somebody produces a peach. Like, that is actually insane. This is the tropic snow peach. I mean, look, just like a moment for all these peach flowers. They almost look like cherry blossoms to me, like when you think of the Japan cherry blossoms. Granted, I haven't seen them up close, so don't roast me if they look nothing like them. But yeah, so this is a tropic beauty peach. And then in here I just have some parsley. These are my marigolds that I started from seed. They were like super tall, but I snipped them, like I cut them here so that they could grow out on the sides. And then we had a bunch of cold weather, which kind of like made them a little, you know, not great, but I think they'll bounce back. I'm gonna plant these out soon. These are the giant orange marigold, the cocoa gold marigold, and there was one more, wasn't there? Okay, maybe it's just those varieties. And that's very strange, actually. I thought I started more of these, or maybe I planned to start more, but I got these seeds from Johnny's. These are the Moscovich tomatoes, which for some reason they're mixed in together. I must have ran out of tray space. My tomatoes look great this year, like they are so tall. These are, I think, daffodils, so I'm waiting for these to come up. They just have like some, like I just threw some cuttings in here. This is an overwintered cayenne, which is doing really well. I'm gonna take that off, and then probably this one too, just so it can like focus on itself. But yeah, cool. My bay leaf tree, which I decided to put right outside the door because that's where our kitchen is. She looks great. It's nice to be able to just like come right here and pick a bay leaf for cooking, which we use bay leaves and everything down here. This is I wonder if this is the tag for this. No, it's not. RIP to these strawberries. But I don't remember what kind of blueberry this is. I'm whispering because people are sleeping. I'm trying to be quiet. But so not as much. This one has struggled a lot, and I'm not sure why. I put the soil acidifier in it. I changed it into a bigger pot. So yeah, I don't know why this one is struggling, but we do have a few little blueberries on there. We'll see how they taste and if it's worth trying to keep this plant alive. But yeah, have a little bit of blueberry action. We'll skip over this because it's dead. This is my Bolero rose that I just switched into this pot. Aphids, black spot, just kind of doing terribly. But I think obviously I can save it, but it's just, once it dries off back here a little bit, I think it'll be good. And then I will spray all these aphids off. Hopefully we get some ladybug action in soon. Little snail. These are some blueberries that I bought for the farm. I'm not going to go through all of them because we'll go through them when I plant them at the farm. But I have like 9 blueberry plants, but they look really freaking good. I bought them all from One Green World also. I have 2 persimmon trees because I love persimmons. I have a hachaya and a fuyu persimmon. So I have one here, then one there. Some snapdragons, a bed full of things, some scabiosa, a rose. This used to be like a falling apart raised bed, and then I switched it out with this birdie's bed, and it's been great so far. The soil isn't super great, but the things are trying. And then those are some flowers that I started. I think those are scabiosas as well, and then 2 ranunculus in the front. Here, this is, I just potted these up. This is a Joan Fontaine rose, which looks good. No complaints except aphids, which are everywhere. I have to plant this up because I'm gonna put this lady in red over by our bedroom. So she's just kind of hanging out right now. So we might actually get some fruit next year. It's insane that citrus like just goes all year basically. But yeah, so she's getting her leaves back. I didn't think she was gonna do super well, but she's making it work. This is an Owari Satsuma. Another blueberry. Lots of growth, but not a lot of berries like the other one, but still beautiful. This is the O'Neill. It's a Southern High Bush variety. So the ones that I bought here, I bought some O'Neill, but I also bought Jewel and some more Emerald. Jewel is a new one to me, I think. This is a Louise Clements rose, which looks good. No aphids so far, which is awesome. I don't think, well, a few of them, but that's okay, whatever. Some calendula in these beds, which is looking really good. And then I have an angel face rose, Grand Dame, some oregano in the back, and then this is a Violet's Pride rose. So my plan was to just like keep it really beautiful and like have all these roses in here, but now of course I'm changing the plan. I'm gonna take these roses out and put vegetables in this bed, for no other reason than it's just more secure back here. So this is like my guaranteed harvest. So if people steal everything that's outside the gate, at least I'll have this here. So that's good for my brain. Some galangal in there that probably needs to be harvested if it hasn't rotted. Some more tulips. That is really gorgeous. This is kind of what the other one looks like, except it's yellow and red. So these are all coming up. Look cute, nice. That is a dark night rose. Terrible black spot. Just not doing great. So maybe it's me, maybe I'm the problem. And this is a Parfuma Earth Angel rose, which actually looks good. So I think maybe this one just needs to come out into the sun some more. This is a beauty plum. We actually had some little fruits on here, but they died in the snow. But it's leafing back out nicely. Hopefully these will be flowers. Maybe we'll get some plums. This is my only plum tree, so I don't know how that's gonna work as far as like cross-pollination, or if I don't think it needs one, but you know, it's always better if you have one. So maybe I'll order another one. Of course, they won't help us this year, but for next year. And maybe we'll get some plums. Over here, I'm determined for it to be a mint bed, but in the meantime, we do have a few other things in here. Some garlic chives, lemon balm, which is starting to take off. Some lemon verbena back here, which I really want to get big. And then some cutting celery. And then over here we have the actual mint. This was like a turmeric that I pulled up, but we have some mint. This is peppermint. And then we have like a, what is this, like a mojito mint. So yeah, I think this year is the year that this becomes like a total mint bed. Here are some calendulas that I just potted up. My starts inside did really well this year. This tray didn't do well. Never Sink Farms, that's where I got these trays from. Never Sink Farms, and the trays on the bottom are from Epic Gardening. But these are some zinnias. These are my worst zinnias that are happening. We had a little accident with them, with some rain. But yeah, these zinnias, this is Ivory Princess, and then we have Orange Button and Flashback OG. All these from Johnny's Seeds. A little eucalyptus. This is a Silver Dollar. Ooh, is it Silver Dollar? I think Silver Dollar eucalyptus. It's a little injured from the snow, but overall it's doing well. And then over here, like, look at these. They need to go in like yesterday. I started these from seed inside a few weeks ago, and they are like bananas. Like, look at this. They're insane. They're like a foot tall. So yeah, these need to go inside like yesterday. Some of them I'm gonna put at the farm, and some I'm gonna keep here. We can go through the varieties, I guess, when I plant them, or yeah, we'll go through the varieties when I plant them because I don't have time right now. And then this, if you remember, we have some projects going on, so ignore that insulation. It's a little messy back here, but this is our compost station. And then I built this like little tray, this little tray holder over here, just so we could take advantage of the sun and I could have some more vertical space to keep my seeds, because we do have such a small backyard. So just a few things that I'm starting up here. More tomatoes and some tomatillos in here. These are some flowers. It's the calendulas that I planted up were right here. So we have some cerinthy and then some yarrow, and then maybe like one ami over there. And then over here we have some alliums, so just some green onions, bunching onions. None of my Texas Grano onions back here came up, but that's okay. So the red burgundy onions came up. Then over here, just a bunch of cosmos. These are actually fenugreek that I got from Strictly Medicinal Seeds. So I'm really excited about that because we use a lot of we make a lot of Indian food, and fenugreek leaves are one of the things that you need sometimes. And I bought some online, but if I can have my own fresh fenugreek, that would be great. And then we have some wood betony that's starting to come up, and then cosmos, and then this last row is valerian. And then I have my little water barrel. I wonder if it has, we've had a lot of rain, not too much in here. I need to actually hook that into this pipe right here to get it all set. And then one more thing I'm going to show you before I sign off today are my zinnias. These are actually doing really well too, so these need to go out as well. They are packed in here. They look really well. This is my messy potting bench that I built. It's serving its purpose. But yeah, so this is the garden right now. Over the next few weeks, we'll be getting it together, planting out these seedlings, and showing you how I garden in my small space, but also on my farm, which I'm going to show you next.